This has been yet another crazy busy news week. Of course, there was the shooting that happened in New Zealand just recently. It was a tragic event. That actually, I'd like to take a minute to talk about that because there is a huge logical problem with all of the news media outlets who have just been jumping on the bandwagon of, oh, Trump has caused this. It's Trump's rhetoric that is responsible for all this, and it's just first off, everyone knows it's a horrific event. Except maybe Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I don't think she seems she. I mean, she's done a lot of stuff that I disagree with. I think there's a lot of times when she says something and she really shows her ignorance. But this is the first time when she's tweeted something out that I really would say is absolutely despicable. And she basically, let me read it exactly. And she said, "What good are your thoughts and prayers when they don't even keep the pews safe?" And she's trying to politicize these shooting events, and every time there's a shooting event, they, of course, that's the only time that they want to talk about it. There's a huge gun control push on the left, and they keep, especially during the last big shooting event, they kept talking about how the NRA only wants to talk about this when there isn't a shooting, and then they're silent when there is a shooting. No, that's not the case at all. They want to talk about it all the time. The NRA is for proper, legal, safe use of firearms. And for anybody, whether it's the NRA or anybody else, to say that their thoughts and prayers are with the families and the victims, the that's absolutely admirable to say, to try to be critical, to just be completely dismissive, while other Muslims, while other people of every faith are praying for the victims and the families of these victims. While they're in the middle of that, to put out a tweet like that, it really is absolutely despicable. I can't believe that she did. Well, every week it seems like I can't believe what she's tweeting out, but this one was just beyond the pale. There's just no excuse for it at all. But the logical issue that I'd like to get to here is people are saying that, well, Trump caused this because this was yet another right wing wacko with a gun who wanted to go shoot up a bunch of people that just looked different than he did. And the problem is, look, you have the media that is constantly reporting on how racist Trump is and how much of a bigot President Trump is, and all of these things, all of these horrible critical things. Like they just repeat themselves ad nauseum, over and over and over. And it's one of those things where I think they really believe if they just repeat it often enough, it'll become true. So, of course, what's going to happen with someone who is clearly unhinged, clearly does not have a good ability to make good decisions, like whoever this shooter was? I haven't even looked at the name. I'm not going to. And this is one thing that I was looking up a story on here, and it was on. Let me see if I can find the little disclaimer that they had. It was about the. It was about this shooting, and it was on the Daily Wire where they said basically they refused to publish. I must have closed it now, but they said that they refused to publish as a matter of policy the names or pictures of anybody who commits any of these shootings. That the studies have shown that it is the or the media attention that that really gets them going. It really motivates them to for more people to follow in this behavior. So, so whoever this guy was, Mr. Crazy, let's call him that, he decides, okay, I don't like these people, and oh, I keep hearing from the American media that their president is a racist and that he keeps putting out these dog whistles. So he looks them up and oh, evidently this is a dog whistle. Calling people invaders, this is a dog whistle. Okay, well then I'm going to follow it. The guy's unhinged. So the idea that Trump is causing this, it's stupid. Quite honestly, the logic doesn't follow. If you really want to look at who is causing this, it's the media. Yet again, surprise, surprise. They're the ones who are reporting this. This is fake news. This is actually, there's a lot of fake news out there, and a lot of times when President Trump complains about it, there's a little bit that I can understand. People think, okay, well, you just don't like the reporting. It's putting you in a bad light. There may be a lot of elements of untruth to it, and I think that there's a tremendous amount. Like that joke about, if President Trump and the Pope were out fishing and the wind blows Trump's hat out to sea and he gets out, walks across water, picks up the hat and brings it back. The following day, the Washington Post would run a story that says Trump can't swim. Those sorts of things they're just kind of baked into the media. So when he talks about fake news, sometimes it's just kind of okay, yeah, they're reporting it in a bad light, but ultimately, what's the damage? You know what? This is the damage. When you repeatedly, over and over, call someone who is not a racist, I don't think there's a racist bone in his entire body. I don't think he cares what race anybody is. He cares about results. He's a businessman. You cannot survive in business to become a billionaire if you are preoccupied with what someone's heritage is and whether or not you're going to do any work with them or anything like that. You can't get bogged down in that and be successful. So either way, they keep calling him a racist, and then what happens? That's going to embolden the other racists. It's not that Trump's rhetoric has been doing this, it's the media's rhetoric. Them calling him a racist, saying that he's calling out these people to commit these acts. Well, yeah, then they're going to happen. So it's very irritating. It's very frustrating. And then, of course, after it happens, they try to say, oh, it wasn't our fault. No, it was President Trump's fault. He was the one, like we said before, doing these dog whistles. They're just doubling down on this dog whistle crap, it's so bogus. And the only people who believe them are the people who already agreed with them in the first place. It's such a phony baloney claim. Yeah. So basically, actually, there is another point. There were two shootings actually. Not just there was one horrific one that resulted in, I think, 49 people dead so far, but there was another attempted shooting, and there was a good guy with a gun who returned fire, scared him off. Unfortunately, right now, New Zealand is moving to ban guns. I don't know exactly what the details are, but they're jumping on the let's get these guns banned. Okay, so far it looks like there were three people. There were three groups of people with guns. There was the one who killed 49 people. There was another car. I guess it was a silver Subaru that had two or three people in it. They had a gun, and then there was the good guy with the gun. Out of those three groups of people, who do you think is likely to be affected by a gun law? I mean, really, there's only one person there that's going to take the gun away from, and that's the good guy, the guy who prevented the second shooting, the guy who literally saved lives. So what good is it going to do to ban guns? These people, if they want to commit these horrible crimes, they're going to. I mean, really, it's not even having a gun that is really a problem. It's killing people that's a problem. If passing laws was able to work, well, hey, why don't we just pass a law making it illegal to kill people? What a genius idea. I wish I'd thought of that. Of course, they're already going to break the law to kill people when that's illegal, why on earth would a law saying that they aren't allowed to have a gun in any way stop them from getting this done? If there was, I think that the problem is they think that banning guns means you uninvent them. You make them all disappear so nobody can have them. And it's just a fantasy. It's not true. It's never worked that way. And it's bad policy. It's going to result in more deaths.